My name is Bilal Dannoun and I am the founder of Barakah Capital. And Barakah Capital was created to offer opportunity to the Muslim community when it comes to investment, when it comes to putting your money somewhere that is Sharia compliant. We saw that there is a need in the community for Sharia compliant options that are also low risk and that also ensure good, healthy returns. So before coming to YMS, the challenge for us as Barakah Capital was how do we showcase Barakah Capital on social media, raise the awareness and allow for that connectivity with the Muslim community, ensuring that the Muslim community understands who we really are and what we are about and what are the projects that we offer. And I wanted a company that will be able to understand how to connect with the Muslim community through social media. And so for us, it's very important to have somebody who is experienced, who is already doing the work. And when I saw the work of YMS online and I connected with their work and I found that they represent a professional company that allows us to connect with their audience, and just the quality of the workmanship is just remarkable. So from amongst the barriers and the obstacles that we faced is really trying to ensure that our brand is out there in a way that is trusted, especially in a day and age whereby a lot of people have trust issues. So for us, we need to make sure that the message that we're relaying to the community is one of trust and transparency and creating that confidence in individuals and showing them that there is a high level of professionalism. That was for us a challenge to do it without media, without going to social media. You can't just do that without having that message relayed on today's social media platforms, or else you'll be left behind. And so alhamdulillah, we found that coming to YMS, who were able to capture that message, has profoundly assisted us in delivering the message that we wanted to be delivered. Before partnering with YMS, we were just typically doing social media posts without any videos. And we found that we were not really having the response that we really were looking for. It was very random messages coming through. We felt that something's not right. And we thought that we could just do it old school with a few messages here or there. When we actually came to YMS and we produced our videos, we realized that the response was just overwhelmingly positive, because now we had a video that we would be able to use in an ad on our socials, and people were resonating and people were now really pressing the link and coming through with the information that we've requested. And so before that, it was just very random messages. And then we had to actually even hire a person just to manage that side of things because we were overwhelmed with the response. So we found that prior to coming to YMS, that it was very low volume response. After YMS experience and producing our videos, we realized that the response was overwhelming to the extent that we had to hire someone. So alhamdulillah for that. What was missing was real social media content that has impact. And to ensure that, we really needed to capture who we are through a video. And that video needed to be precise, it needed to be impactful, it needed to be professional, it needed to have high quality, right? So I realized that without that video, it was always going to be a struggle to connect with the community. For me, it's always a challenge to get behind the camera. I don't necessarily, personally, I find it a challenge to be, in front of a camera. But you need to be working with individuals that will really help you feel confident, give you ideas, happy to be patient with you. I find that that's very, very important part of delivering the message. And YMS made me feel very comfortable and gave me always ideas and reassuring words because it's very new to somebody like me. Definitely there have been key successes. There's been more business, there's been more clients, there's been more inquiries. And that happens through marketing, and that happens through good marketing, good content, professional videos, good sound, and even, my wife, she said to me, you sounded like really good in that video. And, that comes down to, the audio, the microphones, your experience, your professionalism as YMS, who've assisted in really making that message crisp. And that's the feedback that we had from some of the friends of my family, or the feedback that we've had in the community that was a good video. He sounded really good in that video. And for us, that tells us a lot of the credit, most of the credit, of course, after Allah and the voice that He has blessed me with, goes back to YMS, who have allowed me to communicate the message in a way that it should sound. So before working together, the self-esteem was low, the confidence was low, the optimism is low. When you now start seeing results coming after an experience like this in terms of the video that we created, and you start to see the interactions and the engagement, that just built our confidence, our optimism, and then we really understood that it was never before about that we never had a good product. We were not delivering the message in the way it should be delivered for this time and this age that we are in. And even if you have the best product in the world, if you're not connecting with your clients by way of the avenues that they're accustomed to and they're used to, then your product just stays on the shelf. And then you're wondering what's happening, and you start to question your product, but really you should be questioning your marketing and the content that you have. And that means you need the right people around you to market it well. It needs to be marketed well, and not just depending on word of mouth and depending on your family, on your friends, on a message here or there. It needs to be done well, and that's what YMS have allowed us to do a video that really has resonated with the community, alhamdulillah. So now we have more time to focus on projects, different opportunities. So that way we're ensuring that we continue to produce more, spend more time with investors, with clients, and that way the videos, the social media, the marketing is doing all the legwork for us, while we focus on what we're good at. So that way we just leave the marketing to the likes of YMS and our marketing team that we hire. They do all the work there. We don't need to worry about that. Before we were stressing out about that. How do we do it? How do we put it together? It's not as simple as we thought it was. And alhamdulillah, that has given us a sigh of relief to know we can just focus on what we do best. The most rewarding part with working with YMS was to watch the video when it first came out, because we spent so many hours in between setup and footage and different locations. There's a lot of work that needs to go into that to ensure a good, crisp, remarkable product. And so prior to our recording, we had a lot of meetings with YMS when it came to the script, when it came to the message, when it came to the scenes that we wanted. And what was beautiful about dealing with them was that they gave us lots of ideas. We knew the message, we knew the product, but we didn't know how to position that. And so what was good about YMS, they really helped us. Even I remember going back and forth, but the way that the final product and the final wording was exactly the message that we wanted to convey. So they helped us with the messaging. They helped us ensuring that different scenes to represent exactly who we are. And you need that guidance. So guidance is important. So we needed a company that was going to be able to really capture our message. And so, when you go through all of that, you want to know that they have produced exactly something that's going to make you go, wow. And that's exactly what happened. When we saw that video and, we were just like, wow. My wife and I, we sat there and we said, that is just amazing. And that feeling is just so good that you see the fruits of the labors and you know then that you're in good hands. And that's what I liked about YMS, the professionalism, the punctuality, the eye for detail, thinking outside of the box, giving ideas that would resonate with our clients, that will connect with them. They were happy to attend different locations, the variety, the options. That's what you want. And they're flexible. They're patient with you. They're not going to get upset and create something that's uncomfortable for you. We always felt comfortable from the very beginning of our interaction with YMS. Definitely recommend YMS to others, alhamdulillah. Once again, if you want somebody who is a professional, who's an expert, who has good, solid equipment, who's going to guide you through this experience, that's why you need to choose YMS. It feels like I'm part of a family when it comes to YMS. And that's what I want. I want to deal with people who believe in also what I'm doing, and they feel that, they actually felt a part of the team, and I call them, my team. I want to work with people like that. I want to work with people who make me feel that we are a team, we're working together. That's very, very important to me. So I definitely would recommend YMS if you're after something that's professional, if you're after something solid, if you're after a team that will make you feel inclusive of them and they are inclusive of you, then you really need to be thinking about YMS. You won't regret it, inshallah. I guess in one sentence, I can say that YMS is an extension of your media team. You need to have them.